Hello and welcome back to our introduction and guide to supported decision making. My name is Jonathan Martinez. I am the Senior Director for Law and Policy at the Burton Blatt Institute of Syracuse University. In this session, we're going to introduce the concept of supported decision making, and I'm going to tell you about a friend of mine who makes use of it. On your screen right now is a picture of Margaret Hatch. She goes by Jenny. When I met Jenny, she was 29 years old. Jenny will tell you she's a high school graduate. She'll tell you she was president of her class. She had been working in the same job for 5 years at the time, a regular job in the community, making regular wages, paying regular taxes. She had a social life, a church she went to, friends she saw. She was politically active. She was known in her community, and her community knew her. Until she got in a car accident. Because shortly after Jenny got in a car accident, because she has Down syndrome, she was placed under a guardianship. On your screen right now is language from the guardianship order. I'm not going to bore you with the entire order, but what I can tell you is that there were 4 separate paragraphs in that order saying the guardians could choose where Jenny lived. Jenny had lived in her own apartment before the accident, her own apartment, but they could choose where she lived, including an institution. There were 3 paragraphs saying that the guardians could choose what health care she got or whether she even got health care. But what's on your screen is the last paragraph in that order. Take a look at it. It says that the guardians can decide who Jenny sees, what kind of health care she gets, what kind of support she gets, what kind of education she gets, what kind of therapeutic treatment she gets, and where she lives. Looking at that language, does Jenny Hatch have any rights left? Was Jenny Hatch a citizen? Remember when we started these sessions, I asked you what was your favorite right? What rights were most important to you? Did Jenny have any rights left? Why? Well, it was because a psychologist examined her and found that Jenny needs help. In fact, that's a quote. The psychologist said, Jenny's going to need assistance to make health care decisions regarding her health care, her living arrangements, and, quote, such like that. She will need someone to guide her and give her assistance. When I met Jenny, I looked at her records, and you know what? I realized that psychologist was 100% right. Jenny does need assistance to understand legal issues. She absolutely needs assistance to understand medical issues and monetary issues and in her day-to-day life. You know what that makes her? That makes Jenny Hatch a person. Ain't we all Jenny Hatch? Is there anyone watching this video who makes every decision for themselves without getting help, without ever doing research, without getting advice? If there is, please contact me off list. I would love to get some help from you. But what we had to do was we had to show a judge who, like everyone else, was used to 2,000 years of history that said when a person with a disability needs help doing something, they must not be able to do anything. We need to show that judge that there's another way, that Jenny is just like all of us, that we all need a little bit of help. And on your screen is the way we did it. On your screen is a definition of supported decision making. Now, I'm not looking at the screen right now. I can do this from memory. Supported decision-making is a recognized alternative to guardianship where people with disabilities use trusted friends, family members, and associates to help them understand the situations and choices they face so they can make their own decisions without the need for a guardian. It's a lot of words, wasn't it? It's a lot of words, and I knew that by heart because I wrote them. I was an idiot when I wrote that. I mean, poor Dr. Blank, who had to be the lead author on that, had to associate himself with my language, where what I should have said to that judge was, how do you make decisions? What do you do? What do you do when the doctor speaks jargon at you? When the doctor says you've got a subluxation in your cervical brachial area that we can treat conservatively with a course of anti-inflammatories or aggressively with intervention, and you say, huh? And the doctor goes, you got an owie in your neck. Would you like Motrin or surgery? And when you hear that, you say to yourself, I get it now. I can make a decision. When I go to the auto mechanic and the auto mechanic says, John, you got a problem. You must have a leak because your headlight fluid's a quart low and your muffler bearings are rattling around something fierce. And it's going to cost $1,000 to fix. And I go to my friend, and my friend knows about cars. I don't. And I say, Jeff, what should I do? It's $1,000, man. I love this car. Should I get it fixed? Should I put the money toward a new car? And Jeff goes, dude, there's no such thing as headlight fluid or muffler bearings. You're getting ripped off. And I said, thank you. I understand. Because that's what we do. That's what people do. When they don't understand something, they get help. You go to Google, you go to a friend, you go to an expert, and you ask questions. You say, help me out here because I don't understand. And when you do that, you're being smart. You're being wise. You're being judicious and getting a second opinion. When Jenny Hatch does it, when a person with disabilities does it, society thinks they're weak. Because when Jenny Hatch says, I don't understand something, help me out here, well, society assumes that because you need help doing something, you must not be able to do anything. And for 2,000 years, the response has been to take away the right to do everything. So supported decision-making, after all those words, is just a fancy way to say getting help when you need it, just like you and I do. Thank you for joining us for this session. In the next session, we'll talk more about Jenny's case and the way that she uses supported decision-making and what Jenny's case can mean for the rest of us. Thanks so much for joining us.